Hey gang, welcome to another episode of Wisdom Wednesday from right here in Austin Dental Spa in beautiful Austin, Texas, where the temperature was like 75 degrees today in the early February. 2 weeks ago we had snow, and now it's 75 degrees. But February is usually the month where we get ice and snow if we're going to get it. We got it a little early this year. Hard to imagine with 75 degrees outside that it's going to get colder this month, but could happen. And I always love February's because it is nationally Dental Health Month, and it, of course, what's that holiday that happens in February? Oh yeah, Valentine's Day. But before we get to our theme for the month, we want to back up a little bit because we got some unfinished business from January. January, our theme was Turn It Up. And so we, in honor of Turn It Up, what better gift to give than Bose speakers? These are rechargeable batteries, totally portable, not much bigger than this box that they're in, easy to take to the beach, to the pool when spring comes around, and these things pack a punch. Bose doesn't make any crappy products, so this is like good stuff. I listened to one of these, and they put out a powerful sound. They'll sync with your phone or your iPad, and they're in beautiful Austin Dental Spa blue, matches some of the colors here in the office. So we're giving 2 of these away, as we've been announcing all through the month. There were 2 ways you could win one of these, and we're going to have the lucky winners right here on camera today. One was a Facebook contest. All you had to do is go to our Facebook page, Austin Dental Spa, and like it. And then on Instagram, which those two kind of are hand in hand, the social media 500-pound gorillas on the market right now. I know there's a lot of other ones coming around, but those are the 2 biggies still. So on Instagram, we had a little more complicated. You had to go to Austin Dental Spa feed on Instagram and join it or follow us, and then tag a friend and like one of our posts on Instagram. So there were 3 things to do. So and so we've got the winners right here. We'll do Facebook first. Here's the number of entries, and I'm going to mix them all up. This is totally at random. Everybody that liked or friended Austin Dental Spa on Facebook, and Brian Kaplowitz. Brian Kaplowitz is the big winner of the Bose speaker. Congratulations, Brian. So that one is yours. Now, Instagram. Better not be Brian again. Okay, let's see who won on Instagram. Jess at Austin Living Company. Jess at Austin Living Company, you won a Bose speaker. So congratulations, both of y'all, for participating. Thank you for participating in our Turn It Up month. Now, as you can imagine, February, we had to come up with a motto for February. So, of course, it is Show the Love. Boom, 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 boom. For Valentine's Day, we've already got hearts out in the office, and as you saw at the beginning, we're decorating it up for Valentine's Day, one of my favorite holidays of the year. And so, in honor of Show the Love, we're going to come up with another contest. We don't really have one settled yet. We wanted to get Turn It Up out of the way, but by next week, I'll have something that'll be fun to do, that'll be participatory, and you can win some other cool prize for Show the Love. Be sure Valentine's is 10 days away, so be sure that if you've got a special significant other, that you've already prepared something for that, because it's going to be here before we know it. It's actually on a Sunday this year, but I was at a downtown restaurant last night, Three Forks, one of my favorite places, and they said they're already booked up for Valentine's Day. For the actual Valentine's Day on Sunday, people have totally booked to go out to eat. So they're at 75% capacity, so the place won't be completely packed. They're doing it safely, but all the restaurants are starting to kind of gradually open back up. So another way you can show the love is to show the love to yourself and improve your smile. So we've been doing more whitening since the beginning of this year than we normally do. We did about 30 in the month of January, and we're on pace. We're doing at least 1 or 2 a day all week this week. So it's been awesome. People are wanting to look better for that big day when we don't have to wear masks anymore and we can go out in public and actually smile at somebody. But I think I told you a couple of months ago, we had one of our patients come in this summer and be ready to do her veneers. She had been talking about it for 4 years, and she came in and said, I'm ready to get my veneers done. I'm like, really? Right after the shutdown? And everybody's wearing masks? And she said, I'm sick of looking at myself on Zoom. And I never really thought about it. On Zoom calls, you're seeing yourself as well as everybody else on the screen. And so she got tired of looking at herself. Whereas before, I guess, when she did computer conferences before Zoom and the COVID shutdown, she didn't have to see herself. And now I understand there's a reason why on some of the FaceTime calls, you're a little bitty box over here and the person you're talking to is the rest of the screen. So Facebook, come on, make them even size so that people can see themselves more, and help me do some more dentistry. So that's one way you can show the love. That's a quick, easy, inexpensive way, is to do whitening. It's under $400 and it's 90-minute appointment at tops and you're done. Most people get 6 to 8 shades whiter. Another way is to do veneers. Here's a good example of what veneers can do. Our patient Marty, I love this woman, and she did veneers probably close to 10 years ago, and I hope there's not a glare on the screen, but what a difference that made. Made her look 10 years younger, and if not maybe even more. She did this probably 8 years ago, and she says, I wish I'd done it a long time ago. We hear that routinely when people get veneers done, that they say, gosh, I wish I'd done this years ago. So that's a way you can show yourself some love. Get some veneers done, get some cosmetic dental treatment done, get some cosmetic facial stuff done. It's a good time to do it while we're all still in masks anyway, and 2 appointments 3 weeks apart, you can have a new smile. So show yourself some love, and we'll be following that theme along in the month of February. I've got a health tip for you this week. As you know, the Super Bowl is coming up this Sunday. Kansas City Chiefs versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Old Tom Brady, still at it. Still showing that he's got what it takes to be a winner. And Patrick Mahomes, who played at Texas Tech, and they're the two quarterbacks battling each other. The big concern that I'm seeing in all the dental and medical literature this week is that health officials are worried that people are going to do Super Bowl parties indoors, because in a lot of the rest of the country, unlike Austin, it's still a little uncomfortable to go outdoors in February, and so they're doing indoor parties, watching the Super Bowl, presumably without masks on, because you got to eat your Tostitos and watch the commercials. To me, some years the Super Bowl commercials are the best part of the whole thing. This year, I think we're going to have a pretty good game. But my health tip is, be aware that we still, even though the numbers are going down and there are vaccines available, there's still a virus out there among us. And so be careful, practice social distancing, wear a mask if you're around people that you don't know well, or if anybody's coughing or sneezing or appears to be sick. If I was given a Super Bowl party, I'd take one of our little portable digital thermometers and be checking everybody's temperature. 100.4, not 104. 100.4 is the magic number that we've had in place here since we reopened in May, that if you're over 100.4, you've got a fever and you shouldn't be out in public. If you're under 100.4, especially if you're down around 98.6 or below, you're in good shape. Those digital thermometers we found measure about a degree lower than what is normal, or probably the regular temperature. But anyway, be safe out there if you're going to a Super Bowl party, whoever you're cheering for. Don't stand too close to people that are shouting and cheering without a mask on. Now the big deal, Anthony Fauci went from went from no mask back in March to one mask. But a cloth mask is okay, and now 6 months, 9 months later, he's saying, no, not just 2 masks, but 4 masks. The concept makes sense to me that the more layers you got in there, especially of different materials, the harder a virus, even as small as the coronavirus, that's the big thing for the mask critics, is that it can still pass through like water going through a chain link fence. But my analogy is it'd be like putting the whole offensive line at the University of Texas trying to get through my front door all at the same time. These guys are as big as refrigerators, and so they can't all fit in at the same time. So that mask is going to trap some of those bacteria particles, or viral particles, but going through. And that's the whole idea of a mask, is not to stop them from penetrating, but to cut down the volume of them that are going to get in. So my advice would be, if you're at a Super Bowl party or any large gathering of other human beings that you don't know well, if they're shouting, yelling, singing, get your distance from them. Ask them to put a mask on, which is a little touchy, or just put one on yourself. Or of course, if you're uncomfortable, you can leave. Because what we're hoping won't happen is 3 weeks from now, that's the typical incubation period, is after a big social event like Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July in between there, Thanksgiving, and then Christmas. After every one of those, 3 weeks later, we saw a spike in the outbreaks of positive coronavirus cases being supported. Hospitalizations followed, and death follows about 4 weeks after that. The number of deaths go up. So just because you get exposed doesn't mean you're going to contract the virus. Depends on a lot of factors, and they're finding every week more and more and more. The vaccines, very promising, 95 to 98% effectiveness, and that word effective is a little dicey, because what they're meaning by effective is it's going to keep you from getting sick. But even the people who have gotten sick after getting the vaccine, it takes about 3 weeks for that vaccine to boost your immune system to a point where you're less likely to contract COVID if you get exposed. But the good news is, I know you've heard anecdotes about people dying after getting the vaccine. I've heard of people getting sick after getting the vaccine, because again, it takes 3 weeks for your immune system to really ramp up, which is why they were saying do the booster 3 weeks later. Now that's all the way up to 3 months in some stuff I just read this afternoon that came out yesterday. Russia has a virus called, of all things, Sputnik 5, named after the rockets that they sent up back in the 60s. Sputnik 5 is 91% effective, supposedly. They've done testing on thousands of people because it's Russia. They don't have an FDA. The government owns the lab that put them out, and they basically, I think, are forcing people to get it done. But human experimentation is legal over there. So the people that have gotten it, they're getting very, very, very few deaths after vaccinations, and so it is effective. Effective doesn't mean you're not going to get sick. It means you're not going to get hospitalized and you're not going to die. And that's becoming more clear with these vaccines, that is actually the case. Hospitalizations should go down. Deaths should go down. That's all good news. So there is some hope out there for that we've rounded the corner. Don't get stupid this weekend during the Super Bowl, and it's just a football game, although it is the last one of the year. So there's always basketball and baseball coming. So have a good time out there, and cheer on your favorite team. I'll see you next week for another version of Wisdom Wednesday, and so long. Happy Valentine's Day.